Yep, so we've just gone live. I'm just waiting for a few people to join. Maybe we might get ready to go. I'm watching. All that audio sounds good as well, Joe, so I reckon we just
stick with it. Yeah, I'll just quickly listen to it. Yeah, that's good.
Yep, excellent. All right, I think we are good to go. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. And after a 2 or 3 week break, we are back. Hello and welcome to the first in a series of KRL social races, live and exclusive here back on the Kid Buyers Racing League channel. And tonight we've got a bit of a treat for you. Certainly some very beautiful sounding cars, that's for sure. It's the old spec GT3 cars here on a Assetto Corsa, the Aston Martin V12s, Bentleys, Jaguars, Lexus, McLaren 650s, Nissan GTR 2015 and the Lambos, if you don't mind. And we're racing here around the famous Nurburgring circuit. And we've got just a tick over 9 minutes remaining in qualifying, followed by a 30-minute race with a mandatory pit stop as I welcome the superstar himself, Jason Wilkinson, who is taking part in this race tonight. And Wilco, yellow flags out so far, and it is wet, wet, wet at the moment.
Yes, better go and set a laptop, I guess. But yeah, all these beautiful cars, beautiful machineries, pre-2015 or 2016, sorry, because the Lexus is 2016. So I thought we might do a older spec race tonight. So we've got a few boys in that beautiful sounding Aston V12, which I'm in as well. A few boys in the Lexus, Jimbo in the Jag, good vibes in the McLaren, and Binger and Righty was, where is Righty? Oh, Righty's in the Aston now, so yeah, then Binger in his trusty GTR. So yeah, should be a good little fun night. It is a random, we did like a random wheel thing to pick the weather and track, so we've got light rain at Nurburgring, so here we are.
It's going to be great. Always an interesting track, even in the dry, let alone the wet. But you can see there, track temperature 22 degrees and air temperature 20. Like we said, wet, wet, wet. 7 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this session. Barter's currently on pole position in the Aston Martin there with a 203.345. Albert 92 F1. Good to see a new boy amongst the action here tonight, amongst the list of drivers. 0.2 off of OGT. Look at that, 0.06 of a second. Separating Albert and OGT. Then it is everybody's favourite, your favourite and mine, Voodoo Child there, a further 0.3 back. So it's all about finding the grip, just going through and see if you can take a different line there. Just sometimes the grip is in different spots around the track when the conditions are wet like this. Matterford there in the Lexus, and these cars, they sound absolutely fantastic, Wilco. I can hear them coming through the stream there. Binger King. My Binger King there in the 33 Nissan, the trusty Nissan. Rick Oztech in the Aston Martin. Jimbo Jones, happy birthday to you, Jimbo. Better late than never from last Tuesday. As Jimbo there, not giving OGT, not leaving the space there towards turn 1. Kilroy coming around the final corner now. He's 4.3 seconds off of the current provisional pole position time. Let's see if he can improve here as he comes across the start, finish straight, if he indeed is finishing a lap. And Kilroy up to 8, so there we go, he's improved by a second or so. And then it's good vibes. Wilco now out on the track and just warming those tyres up.
I was trying to get the stream off my phone, and as soon as I let go of the wheel, it started going schizo, so I had to come to a stop so I didn't break my fingers. But yeah,
that's all right. I thought I was Barter's there putting in a 202.922. Marvellous figures those. Look at that, a good lap from him, and he's 0.6 ahead of the rest of them at the moment, all the way down to yourself, Wilco. You're the only driver yet to set a time. Caleb's in the pits, and Schumacher, Barter's I should say, coming through the Schumacher S's. There's no Schumachers out there tonight, but OGT in third. Right behind Jimbo Jones, who's travelling very slowly, but these conditions are tricky. Imagine the full-length Nurburgring, Wilco. That'd be interesting in these conditions. The Nordschleife, but Righty in fifth in his favourite colour, the number 5 Aston Martin there, the Pink Panther. And Caleb back in the pits. Matterford there in 7th. Binger now still in 8th. Kilroy in 9th. Rick Oztech rounding out your top 10. Jimbo right up behind OGT. These two, there hasn't been much between them so far on this lap. The boys don't realise that the race doesn't start for another 5 or so minutes, but Jimbo getting the back end out there and the race is on. Look at this down the inside if you don't mind. The racing started already, Wilco. OGT hangs it around the outside, now goes to the inside onto the start finish straight, and now it's going to be a bit of a drag race down here, or is Jimbo getting out of the way? No, he's not. So look at this. Here we go then. Jimbo down into turn 1. He's got the inside line. Now OGT stays on the outside, and Jimbo politely removes himself in front of OGT there and straight off at turn 1. So that's the end of that little exciting battle there. Good vibes also down in 12th. And, well, interesting stuff then at the moment. And if you're wondering why, if you're getting sick of looking at the arse end of these cars, that is because, Wilco, we've still got that glitch, haven't we, where we can't sort of transfer from one session to the other without the game glitching out. So in the next 4 minutes, we'll stick with this these camera angles, and then I will jump out so the stream keeps going, and then jump back into spectator mode for the 30-minute race here around the Nurburgring. And Wilco, it's great to be back, isn't it, after finishing up our season a few weeks ago? But you don't have to comment, Wilco. I know, head down. And
invalid lap anyway, so it's all good us away.
All good. So it is good to be back, Wilco. Good to keep these boys racing and keep the chit-chat going and keep the banter happening as well. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. We've had a couple of social races over the last couple of weeks, but we've only had like 4 or 5 drivers because I think everyone wants to stream, Trev. So as soon as you announce the stream, we got 13 drivers and a lot of the big names, Murph, Cart Dude, V8 Man, Jono, like there's a Senna, all those boys who aren't racing. So still got us a good little turnout here, but yeah, let's crack on with this quali session.
Here we go then, Wilco coming on to the start-finish straight. Just over 3 minutes left in this session. So a minute, what do we got here? 2 minutes, a bit over 2 minutes for a decent qualifying lap, a competitive qualifying time. So Wilco will have time for another lap, but not much more than that. And, geez, I tell you what, Good Vibes down there. Can he put in another time? We'll just go away from Wilco. He's in the pits, so Good Vibes may not be able to get another time on the board. Yellow flags out in Sector 1 there. I can just see there seems to be...
Off to the side.
And Rick it was,
yep,
who's well and truly off. That never used to be a gravel trap years ago, but... Anyway, Rick back into the pit lane. Kilroy now, 3.6 seconds off the pace. And can he improve? He jumped up to 8th. Now he's been demoted back to 9th. But he comes across the line. He could be to start another hot lap. Righty in the pits. Matterford with him. But here comes Voodoo Child, the 666, the number of the beast. And he'll need to drive like a beast if he's going to get those 9/10ths back. To get anywhere near Barters here. He's just put in a stonking lap. And, well, the times are fairly competitive. If you take out Barters, Wilco, there's a bit of a challenge there for pole position. But you can see that 0.06 of a second between Albert and OGT. Prince Albert doing very nicely there indeed up there in P2, the new boy. And Voodoo now. So this probably will be the last lap for a couple of these drivers if they can't get around in time. But we're going to stick with Voodoo here and see what he can do now. Coming through, he's finished the first sector. We can't see the times, but he does look to be absolutely on it this lap. And we'll get back to him in a moment. Matterford in the pits. Who else is out there? We might take a look at what Wilco's doing at the moment on the absolute limit at the moment. Here comes Wilco around the final corner, yet to set a timed lap. Here he comes in, start, finish straight. And all down to this. What can he do? He comes across the line. It's good enough for 8th. But he will get another crack at it with just under a minute remaining in this session. So there's a huge gap, isn't there, from Wilco in 8th, Bingerling, my Bingerling, and in 9th there. So about 2.7 seconds or so between yourself, Wilco, and Binger in 9th. And then it's Kilroy and Rick Oztech. Jimbo as well, rounding out your top 12. The Baker's dozen down to Good Vibes, who's 5.961 off the pace. And he won't get another crack at it with less than 30 seconds remaining in this session. And Good Vibes at the moment Slower than the Indian run rate earlier today in that first session. But he's got a bit of Pujara about him. He's just that slow. As that is the end of the session. Albert, what can he do? He's on a time lap. Who else is on a time lap? Voodoo Child, along with Binger King, coming around the final corner. I think he's the last driver to come across the line. My Bingerling goes better, but he's still 1 second off of Wilco in 8th. And Voodoo Child there couldn't improve. No, 9/10 still off of pole position. We might go back to you, Wilco, coming through the Schumacher S's and getting a little bit wide there in that back end. No pressure, Wilco. Just keep doing what you're doing. Focus, you know the drill. As we come into the last sector now. And so many decisions, so many gear changes, corners around this circuit. Thousands of decisions to be made to end up with your lap. And Wilco is targeting that 2 minutes 02.679. A few drivers look a little bit rusty in the off-season, heading up to Christmas. Maybe too much pudding and too much grog, but here we go then. So Wilco coming up to the final chicane as we've got someone. Let's go. V for Voodoo has joined us. Thank you, Voodoo. Looking forward to the races. We might just stay tuned on your car there, Wilco, and then we might jump out before the race starts. Last corner. And here we go across the line. Only good enough for 7th. You've jumped ahead of Caleb. But that's about it. So that's the end of qualifying, Wilco. And I might have to just quit.
Not yet, because we have to wait for that whole pre-race shit to go on. But we'll see what's going on. We'll go through the order, I guess. So who's on pole position there?
Well, let's have a look. It is Barters. What a surprise there. Quickest in every sector to take pole position here tonight at 202.679 ahead of Albert, Prince Albert there, almost a second off, along with OGT and Voodoo Child as well, having completed 7 laps in that session. Matterford, the first, he's on the 3rd row of the grid along with Riley, Wilco, Caleb as well, Bingerling in 9th, Kilroy in 10th, Jimbo in 11th, Rick Oztech 12th. So it's going to be a ding-dong battle in the midfield with our man Wilco there as well in the number 1. And good vibes down there in 13th. Our very own Pujara down there. Kid Byers, the man on your screen, talking about racing rather than getting behind the wheel here tonight. 30-minute race. And can I jump out now, Wilco, and jump back in?
Yep, it should be all good.
So we're just going to jump out. Hopefully this doesn't mess with our stream. You may get the blue screen of death, that infamous blue screen of death, as I'm hearing my own voice in the background. That's very off-putting. But anyway, we're going to close this down. And so I can join back. I don't have to close the...
no, you just have to
join back in, yes. So that's quite handy. If you're out there listening, it'd be nice if that little grey area or that loophole could be closed up so I can join straight back in. So you might not see the blue screen of death, actually.
Just wait a sec. Don't actually hit join. Or you already have...
No, I'm just putting in the password.
Just wait a sec. Yeah, I'll give you a yo when you can join, but for now, just hold up.
That's all right. All 4 people out there watching have our password now to the lobby, but no harm done. I'm sure they're all beloved regulars of the live stream. As I just take a sip of water there, and good luck everybody. V for Voodoo, thank you, brother. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna have to play some Phasmophobia in the near future, whilst I'm quite inebriated over Christmas. Just dropped $825 on the Christmas shopping just for the food bill, but I did have a $350 Coles voucher, so thank you for that. Still came up to $500, but I am going on. That's halfway to a Fanatec wheel, but I'm going on a bit too long, Wilco, but let us know when we can join, and I'll be just joining there. What am I on about now? No, we're just going to close that phone down. Get those comments coming in.
Yeah, you should be able to join in about 5 seconds.
5 seconds, the countdown. The final countdown. All right, here we go. 6 people, half a dozen. Now. And we are going to join for this racing action. Is it wet? Is it going to be a wet race? It looks very wet. And Nurburgring and wet, 2 words that just strike fear into the hearts of any driver. That's for sure. And we are going to see an interesting race here. And here we go. We are almost ready to go. Are we ready to go now, Wilco?
I think we're going now.
Go, go, go. Here we go. On board with Barters off the start line. Prince Albert slots in behind him there, as you can see on your screen. Voodoo coming around the outside. The Nigerian Prince wasting no time. Already up to third place as we head into turn one. And Jimbo Jones doing what Jimbo Jones does best. What was he doing coming from 11th there? Dive bombing the entire field. He's taken out Prince Albert so he can head straight back to Monaco. Barters still leads. Prince Albert's off. He is off the
I was saying before to the boys, I'm like, I've seen Albert's name. I'm like, I bet you we're going to get either a Fat Albert or a Prince Albert. There you go.
There we go. So Prince Albert is down the back. OGT now battling away. Voodoo has made his way up right behind Rick Oztech. So Rick Oztech benefiting from that. And Righty goes through past Jimbo. And Righty's got a lot of damage. He may have he may have been T-boned into that first corner, Righty, and pink cars getting T-boned don't usually end in good results too soon, but anyway, no, just kidding, good vibes. Oh, and somebody else off, it looks like Jimbo. So Jimbo spending more time on the grass than Bob Marley early in this race, and as he stopped, he might have damage. The Jaguar there, the number 54, is off the track. Yellow flags are out. And that might be the end of Jimbo Jones. I'm a little bit rusty here, Wilco, but it's good to be back in it. Lap one of this race. Barters leads by 2.5 seconds. And the sectors are finally updated. There must have been a bit of a little bit of damage into that turn one there, Wilco. I'd love to get your perspective on it.
Okay, my perspective, I think I got up to maybe, where did I start? 7. I think I was up to maybe like 6 up the inside. And I've seen 2 cars coming. One was Rick, but he was going he gave me a little nudge, but he wasn't the one that caused a big crash. Obviously, must have been Jimbo that was the one that actually caused a big crash. But yeah, so then I've got pushed into, I think it might have been Albert or someone, and yeah, there was a bit of chaos there. But I got a lot of damage, so I'm pit.
A lot of damage for Jason Wilkinson. You heard it there first. Thank you, Wilco, commenting live alongside us in the commentary box. Wilco coming to the pits, like we said, along with OGT. Where is Fat Albert? Well, I'll tell you where Fat Albert is. He's just finishing his first lap now. He is right down the field. We do not know how much damage Prince Albert has, and let's hope that dog doesn't start barking. But Kilroy then outside of the top 10. OGT in the pits. We saw that along with Wilco there. It is a long pit stop around here. Matterford looks to have some scuff marks along the side of that Lexus, as Simba there just getting a fair old talking to, and I might have to do the same with my Maltese Shih Tzu next to me. Shih Tzu, that's what you call a zoo, a bad zoo with no animals. But anyway, that's a dad joke. As Caleb right up behind Rick Oztech. This is the closest battle on the track now. Barters in first, coming around the hairpin, around about halfway through the lap. He's 4 seconds ahead of my Binger King. Oh, I want you to play with my Bingerling, as Voodoo now slotting in to third, as the Nigerian Prince with the 666, the number of the beast, looking to get your bank account details and your soul while he's at it there. Voodoo123666 at hotmail.com. Send your details in, or he will come over to your house and beat you. And Rick Oztech there in fourth. Well, I take that back. He's behind Caleb now. So what happened there to Rick Oztech? Right, he's ahead of him as well. Incredible stuff. Where is our man Wilco? Well, it's going to be tough from there, Wilco. Coming out of the, you're not quite a lap down, but boy, it's a slow old pit stop on this game.
Well,
I'm having a look at
minute pit stop, so I had an extra 30 seconds. So with all the damage, so
OGT a little bit ahead of you there. You got 25 minutes to sort it out, but. As I say that, in a brand new number 1 Aston Martin though, so you've got plenty of work to do, but you can do it in a nice shiny looking car there. As somebody off, I think that might have been Righty, as Righty dropping down the field at the moment. Yellow flags out in the final sector. Righty, he is damaged. He's got plenty of damage there. He may have had that from the start of the race, but is he going to come into the pits, or is he going to keep soldiering on here? And what's he doing there? He doesn't know whether he's coming or going at the moment. No, he's coming into the pits. So I think he must have lost it at that final chicane there, Wilco. I caught the arse end of that incident, but he has got a lot of damage in that Aston Martin. And I wish that dog would stop barking, but Caleb continues on there. Enough about my pooches there. So things starting to settle down now with Barter's 81 out in the lead, and that gap is extending with 24 minutes remaining in this race, and the conditions are not getting any better. Certainly not from what I can see, Wilco. It is rain, rain, rain. Go again, come again another day, but it is raining heavily at the moment. Has it got heavier, Wilco, or am I just seeing things there?
No, it should be static rain, so I've made it so it's a light rain race, so, or it's probably about medium rain if I'm honest, but yeah, no, it should stay the same the whole race.
Excellent stuff. So Barter's handling these conditions better than anybody else at this stage. 6.2 seconds in the lead ahead of My Bingaling, who's sitting pretty there. Voodoo, has he been able to make any inroads on My Bingaling? Not at the moment. That gap steady at 1.4 seconds. So he could be on for a podium finish. Always a popular man to chat with. You can see his name there on the front of the car, G-O-D, God. And great stuff there, Voodoo up in third. Caleb is 5.9 seconds behind Voodoo. So Voodoo Child pretty much in no man's land. These cars are moving around. These old spec GT3 cars, Wilco, they seem very twitchy at the back end there. So plenty of work to do. Manafort in fifth, sixth for Good Vibes. I was just calling him the Pujara of the field. And now he's made his way up from, 13th on the grid to 6th. So he's travelling along nicely. And ahead of Prince Albert there, who's might have some damage. I'm not too sure. Yeah, a little bit of cosmetic damage. As we see OGT there getting out of the way. Is he being lapped? I think he is.
He pitted again.
No, sorry, he's pitted again. So I'm not too sure why OGT has pitted again. Maybe it... We've seen some dodgy pit stops, haven't we, Wilco? The pit crew not doing what they're supposed to do, and then you've got to come in again, otherwise you risk facing a penalty, don't you, if you don't get it right?
Yep. Correct, yeah. So I'm not sure what happened. They're all in the party chat together, so I'm sure Jimbo's getting an absolute spray and a half at the moment, but that's another thing.
Well, he came in like a torpedo, just paying tribute to Danny Kvyat there. And ruining, I wouldn't say he ruined people's races, but he certainly...
he ruined people's races.
He ruined people's races. And, no, you didn't crash. We didn't crash, I was racing. You didn't. And, yes, there we go. And Nico Rosberg, that awkward look at the camera. Yes, he couldn't, he's just awkward. Didn't want to be there. But Caleb, I tell you what, he wants to be there, up in 4th place. And Manafort keeping him well and truly honest in 5th place there. And very excited for Caleb. And those two, 3rd and 4th. But it's all about this man, Voodoo Child, if you don't mind now. Just 0.6 of a second off of My Bingaling. So it is looking very good here for Voodoo. Or was that a cheeky corner cut? The commentator's curse coming in once again there. And as soon as I gave him a wrap, he's almost gone off at the final chicane there, coming through the final corner now. So he's lost about 3 or 4 tenths of a second, and that has given My Bingaling a chance to streak away. And all the while, Barters is continuing. Talking about streaking away, he's 8.6 seconds ahead now of Bingaling. Voodoo, now that gap 1.6 seconds, so he's getting close. And then he's just falling back a bit. Kilroy now right up behind the back of Good Vibes. In fact, I think he's past Good Vibes there. Good Vibes down a couple of places there. So Prince Albert, or Fat Albert as he likes to be called, is down in 7th place there. So Kilroy now, there is a huge gap, but there's a pretty tasty, spicy little battle between Kilroy and Fat Albert. But they are 13 seconds off of Manafort, so there's some close battles, Wilco, but there's some huge gaps in the field, as can't quite see the times that you're setting there, Wilco, but 4 drivers...
2:03.8, so...
2:03.
That's better than my quali time.
So, and that's what you get in these conditions, with just a tick over 2 minutes remaining. All about finding that grip and taking the go-kart line, as Martin Brundle seems to always talk about. Get on the rubbish and just get all the grip that you can. But Wilco down in 9th, so 3 drivers have made their stops. OGT, he might have made an extra stop as well so far in this race. 10 minutes into this race, 20 minutes remaining, and it is a mandatory pit stop as well. Rick Oztech 2 laps down and he might have also suffered some pretty serious damage there at the start. But Barter's on lap 4. That gap is extending out as we've got some comments coming in now. And Big Shep says a big hello from the Shepo, and Grinners. And Big Grinners is just joining us. And how is Murray Walker going? Well, Big Shep, it's an absolute pleasure to have you join us this evening along with Grinners. Let us know if you're down at Sinbad's. Have an extra frothy for me, and we would love to hear from you. I'm sounding pretty good for 107, or however old I am. I'm not too sure, but 19 minutes remaining in this race, and it's an absolute pleasure for Big Shep to join us. And your man Nibbles is going not too bad. He's on the comeback trail, Shep. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we know you're with Grinners, and Wilco will be looking to become a winner. Winners are Grinners. That's a terrible joke there, in fact, if indeed it was a joke. But I'd like to just point out that Wilco is setting some pretty sexy lap times at the moment into the 203s, as you heard him mention just a moment ago. That was quicker than his qualifying time, but thank you, Shep, for joining us here this evening. Just 18 and a half minutes to go in this one. Where is this race going? And we are still not at the halfway mark yet, but that rain is still coming down. Medium static light rain. I'm no meteorologist, but that is the scientific term we are going with. But Barters looks like he is absolutely handling this better than anybody else out there. But speaking of handling these conditions, Voodoo has come up right behind my Bingaling, and he looks ready to pounce on my Bingaling. He wants to. He's right up in the mirrors of the number 33 Nissan, and he said, I'm here, let's go and play. And you can see there that gap, 0.4 of a second, but it looks mighty, mighty closer than that. And where can he get this move done? Very tricky conditions here. And sometimes if you just go offline ever so slightly, you can pay the price. As Voodoo coming up to the Schumacher chicane. As here we go then, last of the late breakers, Binger holds that inside line, but Voodoo gets a very good run out of that corner, and in fact Bingerling is coming into the pits. Oh no, he's not! He's, this is terrible stuff. Absolute disaster there, Wilco. Binger tried to go into the pits, they were side by side, and then it was as if Binger didn't want to go in the pits at the last minute, and then just sort of came back onto the track. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't want to say he caused that. I don't want to sort of apply any blame to Bingerling, but he's disappeared off the radar now. So Voodoo has that position all to himself. And if he keeps this up, Wilco, we might be able to ask him what happened there when he talks to us in the post-race press conference. Very strange. I know these. I might have got a bad camera angle there. Let us know if anyone else knows what happened there. Let us know in the comments. But, well, he just seemed to... They were side by side coming out of that... coming towards that final corner, Wilco. And then Binger just looked like he was going into the pits. And then sort of next thing he was back right next to Voodoo. And they made contact there. So Voodoo is... he's dropped a few seconds there. So Matterford now only 4.475 seconds off of him. Albeit in a rather damaged-looking number 14 Lexus there. But that gap's still considerable there. Voodoo now 17.9 seconds off of Barters. Wilco's made his way up to 8th, and I think you're only 12. How many seconds to Good Vibes there? I think you might catch Good Vibes.
He's in the pits now, so hopefully they'll come out in front of him.
As somebody has spent $12.95 at McDonald's in Benalla on my bank card. That's surprising. Not sure whether I agreed to that. As long as there's a chicken and cheese in there for me, there better be. So there's not too many issues there. But Barter's then getting back to the racing. And Barter's now into the pits. Perfect timing, I've got to say, Wilco, with that... well, it's not a huge gap, but I'm just trying to look back. How long is a pit stop around here, Wilco? We know it's a fair while.
A minute and a half, I'd say. Or maybe a minute once you've gone through the pit lane and come back out. So, yeah, a fair chunk of time.
So that is a fair chunk of time. Like we keep saying, very slow pit stops on this game. Barter's now into the pits, as you can see on your screen. I'm looking at the track map, Wilco. I'm trying to work out where he's going to come out here. I reckon after about Kilroy, there's a huge gap, and the next car is the number is you, I think. So, or it might be either yourself or Rick Oztech.
Rick's
so we might get out in that gap between Kilroy and Rick Oztech on the track at least. So he might come out into clear air, but Voodoo is in as well. So Voodoo coming into the pits. So we're seeing plenty of pit stop action here. And that was unlucky. Thanks for letting us know what happened there, Voodoo. A little bit confusing on my screen as Matterford goes up into second position now. So looking very good for a podium here. Yet to make his stop though, but Barters. So that means Matterford might go into the lead, will he? Yes, I think he might go into the lead. Barters comes back out onto the circuit and spot on. He's, as I think Rick Oztech, yellow flag out there. Rick Oztech went yellow there. What's going on with him? We might just have a look there. Rick Oztech is off the track. So he's off the track on the back straight there, heading towards the chicane. And is that going to be his race run? There are yellow flags out. And I think that might be the number. Wilco, I think you might be coming up to him just past him.
Very wide as I'm cutting corners here. That's right.
As corner cutting at Paradise. Good vibes, 64 there coming through. So Rick Oztech is 3 laps down at the moment. He's still listed as being on the circuit. So every driver who finishes will get a point here tonight if we were running a championship, of course, which we are not. But still good for the confidence despite being just a social race. Is there ever just a social race, Wilco? Always good to get that experience.
It is when I'm not winning.
It is
winning, then it's the most serious race out.
Well, you are only 89 seconds from Voodoo, so hang in there. Anything can happen. Those yellow flags are still out as there's plenty of drivers going past the scene of the accident there. And do you have to back off in this game, Wilco, or show that you've not? Just keep going, full hammer down, hammer time, and gets in there, Lewis.
In
there. God, he still hasn't signed yet. There is hope. There is hope, Wilco, so you're still saying there's a chance. But Matterford, lap 8 of this race, he leads. Yet to make that pit stop, of course. And my thoughts are turning to what has been ordered at McDonald's, but I won't get distracted by that. If a chicken and cheese does come into the commentary box, I won't be complaining. As Caleb now into the pits. So it is Lexus, 4 Aston Martins, a McLaren, another Lexus, and another Aston Martin. So it is very much here we go. Kilroy into the pits as well. So this is interesting. Kilroy in from 4th place. So that's ruined my my Noah's Ark lineup. Look, 2x2 or 3x4. I can't seem to count at the moment. But Matterford, when is he coming into the pits? Mandatory pit stops and huge penalties. What is it, a minute and a half or something, Wilco? If you don't make your
something like that, yeah,
something
2
like
minutes
that.
even.
2 minutes, I think, if you don't make your stop. So that might still put him back in 6th or 7th. No, I'm not too sure about that, but we will confirm that the top 4 are yet to make their pit stops. As Voodoo letting us know that was unlucky Binger, so that incident might have been a bit more innocent than what we thought. But Prince Albert, if you don't mind, back up to second when he was facing the wrong way in the opening lap and on the opening corner of this race. A very good effort indeed from Prince Albert of Monaco, who did compete in the Winter Olympics, I think, for the bobsleigh, the Monaco team many years back. And Matterford there in P1, P2 for Prince Albert, Barters in P3, Caleb in P4. So where is our man Wilco? I'll tell you where he is. He's up to 7th. So are you...
Pardon that.
Or 6th.
Hasn't updated yet. Behind Caleb. Where's Caleb?
And Caleb's in 4th, so you're in 5th, are you?
Yeah.
There we go. We've just got
ahead of Kilroy, so
just
should update in a second here.
Got ahead of Kilroy there, so that strategy might have worked there. Wilco still listed as being in 7th, but we will see that updated. You are now, I can visually see that you are ahead of Kilroy, as we've got to throw the old Murray Walker in there for Big Shep and Grinner, who is down at Sinbad's, mask free there for Big Al, who was using his undies at one stage. We did see that. He did get his 15 minutes of fame, of course, but just over 10 minutes remaining in this race. And it is going to be still Barters then looking like the favourite here at the moment, as we've got the comments coming in. And it is Bingerling. Sorry, he says, sorry, Voodoo, my mistake, mate. Heavy damage from the start and tried to hang on too long. And thank you for that, Binger King, who has been good enough to leave a comment. So unlucky for him. So just 9 runners remaining in this race. 13 started, 9 are left. And if this was a championship race, fighting for sheep stations and points, there would be points on offer for every driver who's finished. As Matterford into the pits and out to get along with Prince Albert. Now Barters. Where is Barters here? Why is he so... I know he's back into the lead. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I was thinking he was on the last lap, but 9 laps gone. So on the track at least, Barters still leads now. And big gaps here, as you'd expect in a race in tricky conditions. But Kilroy in 7th, Wilco now up to 6th. And looking to make some moves on Caleb there. Wilco, you're gaining on him at a fair rate of knots.
Yeah, I've got into a little bit of rhythm here, so going back to I am a bit rusty, I guess, Trev. I've been playing F1 too much. Oi,
As Caleb, speaking of rusty, Caleb looked to be going the silly...
on the wet stuff.
Drifting on the wet stuff, drifting too far from the shore, oh Lord. And I've got to say, he just got out onto that AstroTurf. It's not AstroTurf, is it? It's concrete runoff area, and there's no
it is
grip.
Actually AstroTurf on the outside there. There's a little strip of AstroTurf, and that's what he got. And yeah, it's burst and wheel spin.
Well, there we go. So what's he doing now? He's off again. So it's going from bad to worse for that man Caleb, but Wilco is through, and boy, we are a little bit rusty there, and so Wilco up to P5, and now he is off the track. Oh my goodness, look at this. And Wilco, that reminds me of the old F1 game, Wilco, which came out when you were about 6 months old, still in the size 2 Huggies. Never can seem to find the size 6 Huggies, but anyway, that's a first world problem for fathers everywhere. But and I remember very first world problem. But who could forget that Murray Walker? He's off the track, and just blurting that out in your ears, that was magnificent. But Wilco there,
keep off the grass.
Keep off the grass, Martin. That looks as if he just touched the wall there. You're right there, Murray. That's all Murray. That's all Martin used to say. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's all that Murray would let Martin say. But back on F1 97, we're talking about. Talk to Bradley Marshall about that game. Williams #1. Frank Williams will be very happy with this win. And thinking of Frank Williams, actually on a serious note, Wilco, he's not too good, the old chap. Frank Williams, Sir Frank Williams, if you don't mind, incredible contribution to F1. One of the old pioneers of Formula 1 and an absolute legend. And Wilco, speaking of legends, is there up in 5th. Prince Albert now 4th, but I reckon you may have
quick,
him.
I don't know.
He's pretty quick. He's got one side of his car needs some work there. It looks fairly scuffed and damaged, but doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. Wilco, 13 seconds, 6 minutes, less than just a tick under 7 minutes, I should say, in 13 seconds, and he looks pretty handy.
Yep, I'd hope so, because I'm the reigning champ, remember, Trev. Just have to get that in there.
Certainly are. So just Wilco putting in the flex, just flexing his muscles, if you don't mind. Our champion by 1 point. 1 point, numero uno, and it all came down to the final race where, well, it ended up being the friends who had each other off, didn't they? After down Conrod Straight there. What a race that was. What a season finale that was, if you don't mind. And fun fact, Wilco winning his first championship by a solitary point, the same margin that Michael Schumacher won his first championship by back in 1994.
So I'm going to win 6 more flags. 6 more championships.
6 more flags. 6 more. We're not. Please don't go skiing, Wilco. But I've got to say, I don't like where that one was. We'll leave that there and get back to you there. But I think you said 6 flags. We're not talking about Hawthorn.
He's won 7 championships, so I guess he can put his feet up.
7 championships. He can. All right, I don't like where this is going, but Wilco there, 6 flags. Hawthorn have won about that in this decade, haven't they? But anyway, it's not about that, but 6 more championships, no pressure at all, but in a very elite club, that's for sure. Wilco now. Let's take a look at this gap. I'm still interested to see as somebody's in the pits there. Caleb into the pits. So he's well down the field now, probably as a result of damage there. Good vibes in P8. Now he's off again. into the gravel trap. It seems to be that hairpin there halfway around the track, Wilco, that's caught a few drivers out tonight.
I think the brakes might be going on the cars. These are old spec GT3 cars, so when I say old spec, I think this Aston's 2013 maybe, so good 7 or so years old. But yeah, the old brakes aren't working that well as Xena goes rough.
So Xena just having a bark there. That's probably my McDonald's turning up, and thank you for that. But old spec cars, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to cut this out, seriously. Hey, Xena, no. This is ridiculous here. The last 4 minutes, we're down to 4. Xena, hey. So that is my trusty...
Maybe it's an intruder.
Maybe it could be an intruder. The door is closed onto the commentary box here. I'm hearing some funny noises. If someone wants to check that out, that would be great. But Xena, also my co-commentator tonight, along with Wilco, where's she gone? She's dived under the desk there, so I cannot reach her anymore. So I do apologise about that short interruption there with Xena. Just saying that she's enjoying...
Go.
She's just saying she's enjoying the race, and Uncle Barters, thank you. There we go. Hi.
Think of that Indianapolis race.
Yeah.
where it's in the middle of serious commentary, and then your photo frame falls down.
It nearly struck me. Seriously, it's getting a bit it's not a bit beyond a joke now here. But who could forget that? And then. Xena, stop. See, we've got people watching here. Xena, stop. Sorry, I can't stop her. All right then, Wilco. I might just try and get this situation sorted out, as Wilco is
breaking point by about 100 meters.
is less than 3 minutes remaining in this race. Thank you for that, Xena, reporting live there from the door. But Wilco now with plenty of work to do. I had a good race. I tried to tell Dad there was an intruder, but he completely ignored me. And in fact, tried to put a muzzle on me and shut me up. But anyway, that guy's probably making his way off with the 70-inch TV in the lounge room. There is a PS4 Pro in there as well. Could be a woman as well. We're all inclusive here, of course.
Could be white, could be black,
could be yellow, could be any colour you want. Hashtag we rob as one. So just to tick over 2 minutes, I'm losing the plot here a bit, but Barters is keeping it on the track. As can somebody please, if you can hear me out there, shut that dog up. But Voodoo in second, good race from him. He has not really done much wrong apart from the incident with Binger. He's up there in P2, so Matterford in P3 still. So what is the closest battle? We've got Good Vibes and Caleb both in the pits. I think we're down to 7 runners here, Wilco, down to OGT. And the OGT army have deserted him. They may be holidaying in the off-season, and they may only be the real fans. The real OGT army should be with this man through thick and thin, pre-season and off-season as well. And there must be a foreigner in the house. She is sniffing the person at the moment. We'll get back to you on that one. But 13 laps gone. This will be the second last lap, I reckon. Or it could be the last lap, I think. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining here in this old spec GT3 Cars social race. And just a tick after 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. Wonder what the Indians are doing in the cricket. They were going very slowly. Let's just check that out as I digress for a moment. But we've got another comment coming in. No, we don't. Just a false alarm there. As there we go, cricket scores. Let's just, I don't know what I'm doing talking about this, but India now 3 for 154, and that new ball is 11 overs away, and it will be getting dark now. In fact, it will be dark, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now Taylor's in on the action, but 3 down for 154. Thank you, Binger. Say hi to the kids. Absolute pandemonium, as Rob Spicy Boy would say. But here we go. This could be the last lap. 20 seconds to go. He's 28 seconds in the lead. If he's smart here, Wilco, he might just he might ease off.
Killing me.
he might ease off here. 10 seconds remaining. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. This will be the last lap, I reckon. Reminiscent of Schumacher in '97 in Monaco, Wilco, who did that very slow last lap to count down the time. But here we go. Barters wins. He takes this social race here for KRL in the old spec GT3 cars, dominating at a very tricky Nurburgring circuit. But here comes Voodoo Child, the Nigerian Prince 666 at hotmail@gmail.com. He is going to get your bank account details so he can buy another Aston Martin, or he will beat you. He will, always a pleasure to talk to this man in the post-race press conference. He comes across the line second. And what about this man? He is quick. And I speak of Prince Albert, who's come all the way from Monaco here in this race. So Fat Albert comes across the line in third position. Matterford comes across the line in fourth. And then it's our man Wilco coming through the final corner to complete this race. And Wilco. And yep, you've got Kilroy not too far back there, Wilco.
I forgot about that.
So Kilroy's coming. Kilroy's coming around the final corner now. What's Wilco doing? Is he going to make it? Could we have a photo finish here for P5? I know this will keep you up all night if we don't tell you this one is Binger. 3 down for 154. Well done, Barters, Voodoo, and Prince Albert. Good job, Binger. Thank you. Bad luck to you. What happened tonight? OGT now. The last of the cars running in this race. So we just ended up with half the runners we started with. I think there was 13 or 14 started, and 7 are going to finish on the track with Good Vibes and Caleb into the pits. As look at that, it's party time, party mode engaged here on your Thursday night. But it is great to be back on the air. Wilco just getting a bit of silly salmon action happening there on the start-finish straight. But Barters, Voodoo, and Prince Albert, your top 3. Do we dare call him Prince Albert when he comes into the party chat? That's a question. Let's hope they're all allowing their voice to be shared, Wilco. I'm just thinking there because we're on the PSN stream, aren't we, tonight?
Yeah, we are. So I'm still doing drifts, so I don't really care about anything, really. I'm trying to pop these tyres, Trev.
So Wilco there just providing some entertainment for the crowd there at the end of that one. And not an issue at all, being up. Says no harm done at all. Social races, a bit of fun. Have a safe and happy holidays. As I just replied to our man Voodoo and my Bingerling as well, saying love you guys, have a safe and Merry Christmas. And Wilco there, I hope that was popping your tyres, or what's going on there, Wilco?
I'm just trying to hold on to it, it's very good fun.
And Wilco holding on to the tyres, that is, as he is on the main straight there doing his donuts. As should we invite these boys into the party chat? I can do it. Yeah, okay. I'll let you go ahead and do that. As Voodoo then...
who was the podium?
Voodoo 1.
Yep, I don't think I'm actually friends with Albert. Negative. I am not.
Sorry, not Voodoo 1. Barters 81 1.
One. Like one win, one more Formula
okay,
One
this interview is over. Oh, he cracked the shits. How good was that?
He's like, Mum, I can't talk. I'm in a presser. I was actually watching that today. Okay, I'll ask him. Do you want to go for one hole at golf? Okay, this is done.
Holy one. Okay, this is done now. We're done. And a bit of a nasty streak one, Pablo. I remember he tried to punch that cameraman in the paddock there. He goes, "You fucking idiot! You hit my head."
Yeah.
Remember that? Anyway, you fucking idiot. Anyway, so it is after 9. We can go with that.
And yet his missus like fucking say, calm down.
Calm down, Juan. And good Colombian pure there. As Voodoo has joined us, Wilco's still trying to shred those tyres. Burn, rubber, burn. As Voodoo has joined us, I've forgotten where he's finished. I think he finished in P2. That's right, Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
The Nigerian Prince, who has been, he's using the devil's number there, Voodoo. I've got to say, mate, first of all, hello to you. Congratulations on your podium finish in tonight's social race. The number of the beast, is that anything to do with the amount of Phasmophobia you've been playing tonight and the Ouija boards?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got everything to do with it. So, yeah, we've got to summon those demons and, get them around us.
And I've got to say, mate, just talk us through. Looked like a fairly decent race, quite consistent from yourself, but there was a bit of an incident at the pit lane entry there in the last corner, mate. Talk us through that with Binger.
Yeah, Binger decided to take a pit lane entry, which I was actually going to do, and then, it just worked out bad timing for me. But he seemed to, I guess, overshoot it by a little bit. But I mean, no harm, no foul. We kind of collected and we recouped and, got on with it. But carried 21 seconds of damage, I think, after the pit stop. Chose not to repair that. But I mean, it's a social race. It's all about having a bit of fun, and it's the holiday season, the last social race before we make the break.
Certainly is, mate. Congratulations tonight. Awesome job. And Harry Christmas. Happy Christmas, mate. And happy Christmas and a happy New Year, mate. All the best. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, mate. Congratulations on the result.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Great stuff. Same to you, mate, to you and the family.
Out of 10.
Geez, I tell you what, Wilco, I need a set of those tyres on the Honda Jazz of mine.
Yeah,
I reckon they still haven't gone. They still haven't popped on you. But have we got anybody else in the party chat? Do we have Barters in here at all?
No, he hasn't joined, so just us. So we can.
We might have to.
What come out here and drift with me, mate?
Or.
We're the only two left in the game.
So
it's not the season to break my G29.
Oh yeah, true.
So there we have it. I think we've got Barters on the line now. He did head to the podium a little bit earlier, but he spoke with us in the pit lane and Zena, our pit lane reporter, a little bit earlier on. Woof, woof, woof. Yes, I had a really good race and it was quite easy out at the front. I made a pit stop about halfway through, which was mandatory, and I still managed to come out in the lead eventually and take a fine win in this social race. Have a Merry Christmas, safe and Happy New Year, and Godspeed to everybody at KRL. Thank you for that, Barters and Prince Albert, who he might be able to join us all the way from Monaco here. If you just give us a second. Prince Albert, here he is. Where is he now? Prince Albert. And Prince Albert, no, here we go. He's we're going to hold it. We've got him on the line from Monte Carlo there, fellas, so just stick with us. But we'll have him in a moment after these bloody adverts stop playing. But we've got him on the line, so stay tuned. But just recapping, if you're just joining us, you're too late, and I'm pretty disappointed you didn't join earlier. No, just joking. It was Barters winning the race ahead of Voodoo Child. Nigerian Prince, get those bank account details in to that man. And then it was Prince Albert finishing in third place now, and we are just about to hear from him in a few moments' time here. Prince Albert, of course, all the way from Monaco. And
hoping that the US would still be a significant actor in not only the fight against climate change, but with help.
Thank you for
still lead the effort in keeping our oceans
So
we're getting very political here, Trevor.
Thank you. He's just going a little bit off topic, but thank you. Just an exclusive here. Thank you for that. It's about as exciting as watching Pujara bat for the Indians. But thank you for that, Prince Albert, joining us live there, talking about the ecosystems and the oceans and America's plans to do whatever they're going to do. But thank you for that, Prince Albert, finishing in third. And that rounds out a pretty entertaining night, you two guys, in difficult conditions here.
Yeah, I got destroyed at turn one, and that was a race really. But yeah, it's still fun. These cars are sick, so we might do a race next week. Where's it? Oh, Christmas Eve actually, isn't it? So probably maybe not. Maybe might do a Wednesday race or something. We'll work out. We'll try and get some boys on, and we'll see what's going on.
We will see what's going on. My phone is completely glitching out. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we are just about out of time. Thank you for joining us from everybody here at the Kid Buyers Racing League. Have a safe and Merry Christmas. Stay safe, stay well, don't drink too much. Have a good, safe, happy new year, and we will see you for the new season in 2021. I don't know what year it is, but thank you for that. Big thank you to everyone who joined us in the comments. Big Shep as well from Sinbads and Voodoo. Everybody for joining us. Binger, Shep, everybody. You too, Grinner. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay well, and it's bye for now.